5912, approaching suspect. Approaching suspect. Excuse me, ma'am. What do you think you're doing?
What do you mean?
Well, we've had 3 suspicious calls
Calls from what?
about a suspicious person approaching houses. 3 people in this neighborhood have reported it. You know anything about that?
I surely don't. I'm working.
You're working?
Now.
And what is it that you're doing? What's your job?
I'm the mail carrier.
You're a government employee. Would you get that costume at Spirit Halloween store? You're clearly casing the neighborhood.
I'm casing the neighborhood with a giant bag on me? It's hot, sir.
Clearly. Let me see your ID.
Oh my goodness. Here you go. Casing the neighborhood. I've been in this neighborhood on this route for 4 years. You can ask any of these residents. They'll know who
Ma'am, I'm asking the questions here, okay?
Oh my goodness.
This doesn't prove anything. Do you have an actual ID?
Yes. That proves I'm a postal worker.
You don't live anywhere around here. You're not even close.
Of course I don't live around here. I work here. I'm a postal carrier. Why would I live around here?
I'm not buying it. You're clearly casing the joint. This is a very wealthy neighborhood. There's a lot of money in these houses, and you're after way more than just their packages.
Sir, I have a bag full of mail.
Let me see.
What you can look in.
Let me see this.
Sir, you can't.
Let me see the mail. What do you got here? You're delivering mail. What's even in here?
Now you know. Now that's a federal crime. You can't be opening someone's mail. Oh. Sir, would you like to call my supervisor?
There's no supervisors to call. I found my suspect.
Suspect?
Clearly.
How am I a suspect if I'm... Since when I was working while black...
You're going door to door. You're casing the joint.
Door to door to deliver mail, sir.
To set up a future robbery. I know what's going on. I've had my training.
Look here. It is too hot for me to be out here with this foolishness. I got people waiting for their mail.
Yeah, you have people waiting, I'm sure.
Yes, I am sure. I need to go. Look here. You obviously got it misunderstood. Like I said, we can call my supervisor. You can ask any of these people in this neighborhood. They will tell you who I am.
The gig is up. I already know who you are. You're clearly impersonating a mail person trying to case the joint to get information for future robberies.
Who's going to be out here carrying a big package impersonating somebody in this heat? Sir?
Somebody that's preparing to rob the place, obviously.
Broad daylight, sir?
I didn't say you were robbing it in broad daylight. You're casing it.
Sir.
That means you're gathering information to come back at night, finding out who's home, who's not at home, who leaves their door open.
Like
I noticed when I walked up, you were jiggling that front door. Is it normal for a mail person to open the front door? No, I don't think so.
Package. I was leaving their package.
I'm not buying it.
Would you like to go look and see the package I left?
I saw everything.
You clearly.
That's why I stopped. I've been observing, and like I said, we've received 3 calls of suspicious activity.
Suspicious activity.
Suspicious woman going door to door, casing the neighborhood. You clearly don't live anywhere near here. There's no reason for you to be here.
Sir, does your mail carrier live in your neighborhood?
That's irrelevant.
Well, it's obviously relevant to this point. Of course I don't live here. I work here.
You're still sticking to the mail story, huh?
Why would I else be wearing this hot behind uniform out here in this heat?
As a disguise to case the neighborhood. We've already discussed this.
Oh my goodness.
I've already solved the case before it's happened.
Look here, sir. I just want to do my job and go about my day. And clearly, you were just a little bit overzealous right now. If you like, I said before, you can call my supervisor and they can verify it. You can even ask the people in the home. They can tell you who I am. I've been on this route for 4 years.
Ma'am, I already know who you are. I don't need to check with anybody. Hand me that bag of mail, please.
No, sir.
Hand me the bag of mail. I'm not going to ask you again.
I can't do that.
All right, turn around. You're under arrest.
Sir.
Bag off.
You do understand that is a federal crime what you're doing.
Hands behind your back.
Oh, my Lord.
You're under arrest for potential identity theft and mail fraud.
Identity theft and mail. Oh, you were making a mistake.
You made a mistake thinking you could get away with this.
Okay. But that's what you...
Just grab this
I'm not even going to...
fake mail bag.
Okay.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law.
Yeah, okay.
Should have thought twice before coming to this neighborhood.
You're going to be the one thing to say. I can't believe this.
Ma'am, walk faster.
Sir, I walk all day. I'm fine.
You're upsetting the birds.
Well, you were upsetting me. Oh, my goodness.
Thinking you could come into a nice neighborhood like this and rob it. Not on my watch.
Can you at least help me down?
There you go. There you go. You're doing just fine. You should have thought of that before you tried to case this joint.
Casing joints. Now this is ridiculous. I'm losing my glasses. Can you get my glasses?
No problem. I'll check them into evidence with the other stuff. In the back.
Do we really have to
Get in the car.
Mail trucks right up the street? You can see it.
Ma'am, time for talking is done. You had your chance to tell me the truth and you didn't.
I told you the truth. Now, see, you gonna regret this. Like, how about...
Head back.
Can you unloose it? Sir, is this really necessary? I am going to lose my job over this.
Are we still sticking to this
Sir.
mail lady story? No one's
I have a family I gotta support. I am an honest, hard-working person. This is just unnecessary. Sir.
Well, you should have thought your plan through a little more clear. I figured it out.
I can't believe this. I can't believe this is happening. Oh, goodness. Now, are you gonna... I don't even know where to start.
Steal all their stuff instead of working hard.
Sir, I told you, my vehicle's back there. The milk. At least just go back, lock it up so someone don't steal everything.
Like you were planning to do?
Sir, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. I told you I've been here for 4 years. You can ask them.
What's ridiculous is you thought you were going to get away with it.
I can't believe I'm doing this. Here we are in these days, and you got me in this mess. Oh, it's okay. It's okay, because I ain't do nothing wrong.
Tell it to the judge.
Yep. Who knew working while black would get you?
And if you feel like the way I feel, man, after watching that body cam footage, you know, I like to kick that officer's ass, man. I like to get a one-on-one. You know, take his police background away, take his badge away, take his gun, and then let me have my way with him. This is how I feel about officers who act this way, man. You know, they need to face some type of consequences, man. You know, now, this lady, she was obviously just doing her job. Just doing her job, you know. Being a mail carrier while black. Right? As you can see, this officer, as he pulled up, he radioed to somebody, which I'm guessing is a fellow officer, you know, that I'm about to approach the suspect. He didn't say, I'm about to approach, you know, the mail lady, or I'm about to go check and see what's going on. He said, I'm about to approach the suspect. As if this woman, this black woman, committed some sort of crime, right? In order to be a suspect, you have to commit a crime, or at least be suspected of committing a crime, right? Now, This officer was obviously saying that he's received a few calls from residents in that community, which is, as you can see, a very wealthy community, right? Now, when he approached this mail lady, the first thing he asked her is, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" You know, which was very, very over the top disrespectful. As you can see, this lady had on a mail uniform, a bag full of mail, and she's obviously just doing her job. But if you ask him and people like him whether you have a job to do in my area or not, you better not come in contact with me, right? These are the cowards, the bigots that we have, man, all throughout America, man. You know, and they are protected. They are protected by the blue line, man. You know, this is how these departments run. You heard this officer say that in my training, I already know. I know who you are. I know you.
Or to deliver mail, sir.
To set up a future robbery. I know what's going on. I've had my training.
Look here, it is too hot for me to be out here with this foolishness. I got people waiting for their mail.
You're casing the area so that you can come back later on. He also said there's a lot of money in these houses, and you don't belong in this area. You know, you're up here. You know, where'd you get that uniform from? A costume store? You know, I mean, he's made all kind of, you know, just downright disrespectful and distasteful comments to this lady, man. You know, he even got to a point where he asked for her ID and she handed the ID over, right? Which she didn't have to because she didn't commit a crime. She's on her duties as a federal worker, right? She gave the guy, I don't even want to call him an officer. She gave this guy her ID. He looked at the ID and said, "Oh, this doesn't solve anything. This doesn't solve anything." And went on. And at that point, she said, "I mean, I'm a mail carrier. I mean, I'm not doing anything wrong. You can ask the residents of the community. They all know me. I've been doing this job in this area for 4 years." Right? And that's when he asked, no, he didn't ask. He said, she said, I got a bag full of mail. And when she said, "What's that? Let me see that." You know, she had a package in her hand that was the shape of a large Pringle can. You know, the packaging was like a long Pringle can type of packaging, right? In which he not only grabbed it out of her hand, but he disrespectfully snatched it out of her hand. You know, he intentionally showed no respect. You know, no respect whatsoever. As he went on to accuse this woman of being a criminal without the crime, right? Being a suspect without, you know, committing any suspect, anything suspect, right? People making calls about suspicious person in the area, which I'm quite sure that was a lie. You know, he just was probably looking for a reason to bother this lady, right? Now, somewhere, at one point in this, you know, throughout this whole body cam footage, he made a statement like, why were you turning that doorknob? In which she said, "I'm a mail carrier." You know, and for those of you out there who, you know, who don't have the your mail, you know, your mailbox out on the curb on a little, you know, little pretty little pole thing, right? For those of you who, you know, who don't have that, you probably understand that mail carriers sometimes twist doorknobs to open the screen door so that they can make sure they leave your mail in between the screen door and the regular door where, it wouldn't be visible from the curb or the street. It would be somewhere secure, right? Safely and sound. So that you can, more than likely receive your mail when you come home or you come downstairs, open the door, your mail will be safe and sound. Won't blow away anything, right? Now, out of everything this lady said or tried to say about her job, at one point she said, you can call my manager. You can call my manager. In which he said, there's no manager. I already know who you are. I already know who you are. You're a case in this area.
And clearly, you were just a little bit overzealous right now. If you like, I said before, you can call my supervisor and they can verify it. You can even ask the people in the home. They can tell you who I am. I've been on this route for 4 years.
Ma'am, I already know who you are. I don't need to check with anybody. Hand me that bag of mail, please.
No, sir.
Hand me the bag of mail. I'm not going to ask you again.
I can't do that.
All right, turn around. You're under arrest.
Sir.
Bag off.
You do understand that is a federal crime what you're doing.
Hands behind your back.
Oh, my Lord.
Not to commit the crime in the daytime, but your case in the area so that you can come back. Because this is a very wealthy area. You have no business around here. The only business people like you, with your skin tone have in these type of areas are criminal. You're even here to case the neighborhood out. Trying to make sure, trying to investigate the residents to see what times they are home and what times they're not, and things like that. This is what this officer was insinuating, that this woman had no business in this area being a black woman, right? Your type is not rich enough to even be seen walking down the street in these areas. This is just crazy, man. But she was actually arrested. She was actually arrested. Now, a lot of you were probably thinking the same thing as I was thinking when I was watching this footage, right? Like, there's no way, man. There's no way this is real, right? This got to be a skit. This got to be a skit, man. A very well put together skit. With the uniforms and the cop car and the radio and just, all that. But I come to realize that this is not a skit. This is an actual event, a rather unfortunate event that should have never happened, right? Now, this officer, after disrespecting this lady 101 times, he then went on to arrest her. And as you saw in that footage, as she walked, willingly, she walked. She didn't get a guy any type of struggle or anything, resistance, nothing, none of that. She walked, and as she walked, he followed, in which he said, "Walk faster." He went on to bully. He went on to bully this woman. Walk faster. An officer doesn't talk to people like that. Not the people that's supposed to serve and protect. They don't talk to people like that. They don't bully people like that. Well, they do, but that is not what they are sworn in to do. This type of behavior is not what they are sworn in to, to act like. They're not supposed to act like this. This officer told her to walk faster. And then he went on to say, you're upsetting the birds. He was being facetious and sarcastic. He was being sarcastic. But there was nothing to laugh at, man. That statement was disgusting, man. You know, a straight up put down to this lady's race, heritage, and everything that has to do with her existence. Even the birds has more privilege than your type around these parts. That's what he was saying. Even the birds. We honor the birds around here more than we honor your type. And that was very disgusting, man. Downright disrespectful, right? As she went to the car, got in the car, you know, she let him know, you know, my mail truck is up the street. Can you at least, you refuse to call my manager, so that I could let him know that you're here harassing me for no apparent reason. You refuse to do that, right? Because you're my boss. At this point, you're my boss. You're the police officer, the arresting officer. You're the judge and the jury, right? Everything but my lawyer, my attorney, my defense. You are everything. You are everything but my attorney, right? Now, this officer, at some point in the video, he told her, "I don't need to call no boss. You're going to continue to go on with the story of Mel Woman, huh?"
Like I said, we can call my supervisor. You can ask any of these people in this neighborhood. They will tell you who I am.
The gig is up. I already know who you are. You're clearly impersonating a male person trying to case the joint to get information for future robberies.
Who's going to be out here carrying a big package impersonating somebody in this heat? Sir?
Somebody that's preparing to rob the place, obviously.
Broad daylight, sir?
I didn't say you were robbing it in broad daylight. You're casing it.
Sir.
That means you're gathering information to come back at night, finding out who's home, who's not at home, who leaves their door open.
Like
I noticed when I walked up, you were jiggling that front door. Is it normal for a male person to open the front door? No, I don't think so.
You're going to continue to go on with this story of Mel Woman. You know, I already know who you are. I know you. I know you. You're a criminal. You know, he already got in his head, man, that this one here is all mine. I'm going to have my way. And he arrested her, and she told him, "You are making a big mistake." You know, and also she said, "Can you at least go lock my mail truck so that, you know, no one steals out of the mail truck?" In which he responded, "Oh, like you did?" Right? Being sarcastic, making all type of disrespectful remarks. This is sickening, man. This is very sickening, and this cannot go on, man. This type of behavior within these police departments needs to be checked at the door, man. And when these officers are on body cams displaying these type of behaviors, they need to be punished. You know, they need to face some sort of consequences, man, for their actions. Because this is not humanly understandable. You know, this is not humanly really believable, man. I mean, this is over the top, just downright disgusting. Just to watch this shit unfold, man. You know, like I said, man, all I need, man, is a few short minutes with an officer like this. Just take the badge away, take his, you know, his background, his job away, take his gun away, and just, you know, and hand him to me, just a regular white boy. You know, I don't even want to call him an officer. That guy and people like him, I would love to have my way, because I would make them beg me. I would make them beg me to give them some mercy. You know. Anyway, man, it's your boy, Mr. 1751, bringing you another 1751 review. And until next time, y'all stay up.
You're under arrest for potential identity theft and mail fraud.
Identity theft and mail. Oh, you were making a mistake.
You made a mistake thinking you could get away with this.
Okay. But that's what you...
Just grab this.
I'm not even going to...
fake mail bag.
Okay.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law.
Yeah, okay.
Should have thought twice before coming to this neighborhood.
You're gonna be the one thinking twice. I can't believe this.
Ma'am, walk faster.
Sir, I walk all day. I'm trying.
You're upsetting the birds.
Well, but you were upsetting me. Oh my goodness.
Thinking you can come into a nice neighborhood like this and rob it.